Highlight. Highlight. It's a long ball. Arezzo. Matthias Arezzo. He's hit the post. No. No. Oh, it's full time. We're out. No, Matthias Arezzo. You have failed us. And it's another season. Oh, God. It's painful, isn't it? It's painful. Your best striker goes through one-on-one and misses to get you promoted into the new division. Heartbreak. That really was heartbreak. If you want to see more Youth to Gold like that, link is down below for the Twitch page, twitch.tv/Megaloot Gaming. Thankfully, we've moved on from that. We still have Arezzo, but we've moved on from that. But the reason why I'm showing you that clip today, viewers, is because we're going to talk about getting your strikers scoring again. Sometimes your strikers just go through stages where they don't score and you don't quite know what's happened. Maybe they were scoring those goals before. Maybe you've just signed a new striker who was scoring goals at their previous club. He comes to you and he just duffs it always in wide or over. You even put him on penalties and he can't even score. There are so many different things, and I don't know what the situation is in your regards, but we're going to try and help you today and try and get your strikers scoring again with a few little tips and tweaks that you can potentially do in the game of Football Manager to get them rallying on, get them scoring some goals and get you winning some trophies or promoted to the Bundesliga after 2 years. Cheers, Matthias. So the first thing we're going to look at, viewers, is your tactic. Now, tactic is actually going to play a massive part in how your strikers play, of course, because if they are up front by themselves, they might not have as many opportunities to score the goals as they would with a strike partner. And I have found this myself. Since I have moved to a 2-striker up front, or even a 3-striker, because we actually did that in Season 3 of Holstein Kiel, the Youth to Gold. We started scoring a lot more goals. And we can see here, I've been playing 2 up top for a while now. Matthias Arezzo, at this point of the season, has scored 4 goals in 5 games in the Bundesliga after scoring 20 goals in 29 appearances the season before with 3 up top. And Lucas Gomez, well, he is also scoring a lot of goals. He has also scored 4 goals in 5 appearances and 20 goals in the Bundesliga 2 the season before. Both of them playing up front with each other, both of them scoring goals. And there's a reason for that. The match engine now just kind of seems to suit 2 strikers up top. I don't know about you, but it just seems to do that. Whenever I've been playing a formation with just 1 up top, I don't really seem to score as many goals as what I am when I'm playing 2 up top. So maybe just consider that an option. But don't worry, this is not going to be, the rest of the video is going to be, change the tactics, do this, do that. We're going to actually look at some different tips which you can help the striker individually, especially if you're already playing 2 up top, so don't go anywhere. We will, however, come back to the tactic at some point because we're going to look at player roles. But that's a spoiler for a little bit further on. The next thing we need to take a look at is the discussion tab. Now, we have Fernando Ovalar here, and Fernando actually went 26 games without a goal throughout 2 seasons. And we can see across a number of seasons he has played, he just didn't seem to score many goals at all. Well, there's actually a place where you can discuss that with him, and that is the discussion tab. Now, you need to be careful with this because some players don't have the right mental attributes to react well to the way you speak to them. So there are certain ways that you can help do that. And if you do go down to discussion and warn player, you can warn their criticism, their training development and criticise conduct. And there is a section to talk about form. Now, I haven't been playing Ovalar enough for this section to come up, but there is also on warn player, you can criticise their recent form or their last game. And if you do click on this, it will bring up this tab. Now, Football Manager 2021 has added a new kind of thing around this, so you can put your arm around them so it doesn't seem like it's too much of an aggressive stance, or you can point the finger if you want to be harsh, but I suggest not doing that. Put your arm around them and then speak to them about their form. You can see down here if there's a criticise or a threaten. You can see that you can tell them that their recent form hasn't been very good and you want to see more from them. But there is also this section where there's convince, and you can tell them that you have every faith that they will get back into scoring ways. This is the one you need to go for. Put their arm around them and tell them that you have faith in their ability to score some goals. That will boost their morale. And I tell you what, morale is a huge part in getting your strikers to score. Because I was a striker myself. If I felt like I was in a bad run of form, there was no chance I was going to be scoring goals. However, when you do get into that run of form and you start scoring goals, it feels like you cannot stop. And it feels like every single game the ball's just going to fall to your feet and you're going to slot it in. Not to mention with morale, there's a few things that you can actually do which a couple of people have told me when I asked how you guys get your strikers scoring, which I've never tried myself, but maybe it's a good option to do. You can actually arrange a friendly against a very poor side and just see if your striker scores a few goals against them. So throughout the middle of the season, arrange a friendly midweek if you have 2 fixtures on the weekend and there's no game in between. Arrange a friendly for the Wednesday against a really terrible side. Put your striker up top, make it very attacking, and see if he can get himself a hat-trick. That might boost his morale, that might get his scoring boots dusted off, and then on the Saturday, you might see him actually play a little bit better and put the ball in the net. But like I mentioned, I've never actually tried that myself. That is just a suggestion that you guys have given me through the streams and when I asked a couple of people on Discord. There is also more ways that you can look at this through the player traits. Now, I have actually done a video on the best player traits for a striker, so I'm going to be very brief in this, but there are certain player attributes which suggest that a player trait might be better than others. And we can see Matthias Rezel here. He has good technique, he has good anticipation, composure, decision making and finishing. So his player traits aren't too bad. Tries first time shots. Maybe in the future I can give him place shots because he has good composure and he has good technique with good finishing. However, if he didn't have those player attributes, but maybe he had better dribbling and better agility and acceleration, then maybe likes to round a keeper would be better. Also, there is sometimes a suggestion of blasting the shots, shoots with power. But if you check that video out, I'll try and remember to leave the link down in the description for it. It's a really good detailed video. I went in a lot into depth in the player traits for specific players in that striker role. Take a look at it because it's a long-term solution, but it can definitely be a solution, getting your players scoring more in the future. Now let's take a look at some player roles in your tactic, because you might be playing up top and you're like, why isn't my player scoring any goals? And I found this myself last year. I started using the poacher role. Now the poacher role, if you can look at it, he sits on the shoulder of the last defender looking to break the defensive line and run onto through balls from midfield. However, I was using that poacher role with a really slow attacker. So there's no way he was ever going to do anything. And it wasn't until I start looking at this and watching this little box down here, it's perfect. You can see what player attributes are going to be good for this role. So you need to obviously use the fact that this gives you an indication of how good your player will play in this role. Also, there's a couple of roles in here, viewers, which are not actually suited to goal scorers. One being the deep line forward. If you've got a deep line forward, their main function is to link the attack to the midfield, not to score goals. So if you have a deep line forward and he's not scoring goals, it's because he's probably playing a very good deep line forward role. He's probably more likely trying to hold the ball up and pass it off to a teammate like it says there. He aims to drop deep into space, hold the ball up before supplying linking passes to teammates. Moving the ball back to the midfield, support spreading it wide to the flanks. If he has time to turn, play his strike partner in. So his main role is not to score the goals, but to build up play. Take that in consideration too. Now let's talk about training, viewers, because it's one of the things that people scare away from. However, this year you probably need a little bit more knowledge than most years due to the fact that the assistant manager is terrible at getting training schedules. And I do also have another video on training schedules for a gegenpress tactic, which you can see me using here in the Youth to Gold save. I make sure I use this all of the time because it just suits the tactic that you are playing. Now in this area you can change all of the tactics, what they're training and everything like that, and you can do it to suit how you like. if your strikers aren't scoring, there is a section, viewers, where you can change this. So if I click this and you go on to attacking, there is attacking direct, attacking patient, but there is also technical, and you can do some different stuff of there. Here, chance creation. Here, chance conversion. Chance conversion, viewers, is going to help finishing, heading, long shots technique, anticipation, and composure. It is going to benefit primarily your attacking players, your strikers, the ones that aren't scoring. If you start training chance conversion, chances are they might start actually converting some chances, more than likely, in the games, and they might even increase their attributes in their department. It will help them no end. And really, you just need to kind of accumulate all of those little tips and try and see if it makes so much of a difference. There is one, however, thing that you need to consider more than most, and that is that player good mentally? Does he have good consistency? Because if he doesn't have very good consistency is one of the attributes. There's a couple of people who've done videos on this, by the way. False9 and Fox in the Box have done very good videos based on one attribute, and that is consistency. If your player has low consistency, it basically reduces all of your attributes for the majority of the games. However, if it has good consistency, then it's more likely he's going to play at his best and suit the attributes that you can see on the screen there. So if you're thinking, well, I've tried everything else, I'm playing the player to his strengths and he's still not scoring, take a look at his cons. If he has a bad consistency, that might be the reason why. It might be time to offload that player, scout some other striker and see if they have the consistency badge. And if we look at my Lucas Gomez, he has that consistency badge. We can see there he's a fairly consistent performer. So majority of the time he plays to his absolute best. Whereas if we've seen this little badge here in the cons, it's very unlikely he's going to be scoring every single game because he is not very consistent at all. And we have seen that in real life, and it relates back to the game as well, and it works exactly the same. Think about these little things on the outside of the obvious. Well, his attributes are good, and I'm playing him in a striker role, which I think suits, and he's still not scoring. So there we have it. I hope this video kind of helps, and I hope that you managed to get your strikers scoring, and maybe you've learnt something today. If you have, fantastic, smash that like button and let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have a player which you have managed to turn around and get them scoring again, I'd also like to hear your stories, how you managed to do it. Do you use the interaction? Do you use that friendly trick that other people have told me about? Or is it the player traits, changing your tactic roles? Let me know down in the comments. My name is Meglu. We have player spotlights here. We have loads of trips and tips coming up very soon. So if you are new and you would like to subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic, because I'm sure we have something coming your way that might please your taste buds in the future. I'm very bad at words. So hopefully you come back in the very near future, and maybe I will even see you on twitch.tv/MegalootGaming in one of my live stream chats. Now that you've seen what we have in the Youth to Gold, you might think, I want to watch that. And I hope that's the case. I'll see you soon, viewers. Get those strikers scoring. Bye bye.